As you can see, we are getting the third Legends and Flashbacks collection coming this Sunday. Interesting they're doing it on a Sunday. I wonder why. It's almost like the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies are happening that Sunday. But yeah, today I'm going to be breaking down the collection like I have in the past. The last time I did this video, you guys showed so much support. It was insane. So thank you for that. Thank you for supporting the next version of that video. Let's get into it. So I'm going to do this just like I did in the past videos, just go through every card series and kind of give my thoughts and, some tips to prepare. First, we're going to start off with Home Run Derby. This one's pretty simple. It's going to be Cal Raleigh, and I'm just going to speed run through the ones that are simple. This one's going to be Cal Raleigh. This one's going to be Ethan Holiday. The All-Star Game one is going to be Aaron Judge. And then Prime, I could see them doing a voucher because they added more cards after the Berkman came out, but it's probably just going to be Berkman. But wouldn't hurt to get these extra guys like Miller and McCutcheon and the other one, because Pendleton and Veritek are almost quick sell, which is crazy. Summer is going to be Adley Rutschman. Pipeline Pass is going to be Corey Seager. Buxton is going to be Moonshot. Egghan is DeGrom. Donaldson, Santander, Sasaki, DeVries. Like all these guys that have a card as their final reward and they didn't add any more cards, it's guaranteed that that's going to be what you need. Moving on to Color Storm, these guys are all free. They're from Team Affinity. They're not that hard to get. You needed 15 for the Ted Williams. I'm expecting there to be 5 collections in total this year. There's probably going to be 2 more, probably one late August, early September. Definitely September. There's going to be another collection early September, and then November 7th, which is the date that the finest content is going to come out, is probably going to be the final collection. So just, keeping that in mind, let's say you need all 30 for the final one. 15, 20, 25, 30 makes the most sense. So probably 20 Color Storms. Jolt is a little different because we're already at 20 and there's 3 more collections to go. I think 25 is a good number for this one. I would predict 25, 27, 30 for the next 3. Could be a little less than 25, but these cards are pretty easily obtainable, especially if you've been playing the whole year and you don't have a majority of these. I don't know what to tell you. Now, awards and a couple other series I thought were going to make the Ted Williams really difficult, and I was very wrong. They made awards, and I'll just say it, and Milestone extremely easy. I don't think they're going to be as easy, but I think they're still going to be not that bad, just considering the prices of some of these guys. For awards, I think you'll need 12 out of 16, and one thing to keep in mind, this video is being recorded before Friday's content, and obviously posted before Friday's content. So this doesn't factor in new cards that come out on Friday or even on Sunday when the collection comes out. But I think awards is going to be pretty easy to get, assuming that you already have Roland, which you should if you're going for this next collection. But awards, I think it's going to be 12 out of 16, so you'll be able to skip 4. There's only really 1 that's expensive, or 2 that are expensive. Okay, 3 including the Clemens, but everything else is pretty reasonable cards to get. Milestone is the same situation as awards. I thought it was going to be much harder than it was for Ted Williams. I think it'll be a little harder, but still not that bad. Milestone, I have 6 out of 9, so a pretty nice number there. But again, if you have all the no sell cards, if you have Zimmerman, Detmers, Kershaw, Ripken, and Dunn, you literally need 1 card that's quick sell, and it's this Luis Robert. And then there's also Grady Sizemore, who's almost quick sell. Soriano's quick sell. You're not going to need much, even if you don't have Zimmerman or you don't have one of these other guys. This is going to be easy. Contributor is interesting because they haven't really added any contributor cards except for this Frank Thomas. So I have contributor at 31 of 33. So literally just if you have Ted Williams, just lock in 1 card, being like this Brandon Lau, who's 5K, or this Willie Stargell, that's 6K. Overall, this voucher is a little more expensive than the other, regular series vouchers because there are a lot of live series collections in here. This is something that I say every time that I make this video. If you don't have Beltran done, just get Beltran done first. Because if you don't have the live series collections, it just makes these collections so much more difficult to get, especially day 1. Like, having all these live series collections done ahead of time is so helpful, and Beltron is just one of the best cards in the game anyway. So that's one tip of advice. But I mean, if you have the live series collections done, this is super easy. If you don't, this isn't that easy. Now, they have not added a last ride card in a while. I mean, it's been a while. I think the 3 cornerstones from the 6th inning XP reward path that come out on Friday, one of them has to be a last ride card, because there's no way they're gonna have collect all, which is like, because last time it was 13 out of 14. There's no way you're gonna have to get all of them. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. I mean, this card would skyrocket in price. But you know, just, I think they're going to add one last ride card for the cornerstone card, and then you're going to have to skip one. So I think it's going to be 14 out of 15, but for now, I'll say 14 out of 14. But anyway, this is probably going to be the easiest voucher in the game. I mean, even if, like, let's say they add one card, then you can get either the Cardinals collection or Nolan Ryan is going to be the only card that isn't a free card. And the Cardinals collection is like 5K. Forgot to mention earlier, 20th anniversary, obviously going to be Honus Wagner. Moving on to rookie. Rookie, they really haven't added anyone. Or they added the Yu Darvish. And then the Devin Williams was available for the last one, I'm pretty sure. But again, this is a similar one. This is kind of the same situation as Ted Williams, where this Valenzuela card is super hard to get because it's the Dodgers Live Series. If you don't have the Dodgers Live Series, this will be pretty obtainable because the Braves Live Series is not that expensive, and Devin Williams is dirt cheap. So, yeah. And another thing, too, that I forgot to mention earlier, this is literally like the cheapest the market has ever been for Legends and Flashbacks. Like, it is truly insane. A lot of these chase cards have gone down like 20K. It's unbelievable how cheap everything is on the market. So prepare now. Moving on to Breakout, they've only added one, this Ryan Helsley might have been in the game. I think he was, actually. So you're going to have to add one more card. Probably going to be this Hank Greenberg. Probably actually going to be Helsley because he's cheap from the multiplayer program rewind packs. I gotta be honest, side note, I hate how the rewind packs have made all online rewards literally quick sell. I don't know, that's just kind of my take, but Breakout shouldn't be that bad. I mean, a lot of these guys are from Diamond Quest, Team Affinity. This was from the first XP reward path. Diamond Quest, Headliner, who's not that expensive, and then the Royals collection, which is expensive. But if you need one if you don't have Whit Merrifield, make sure you buy Hank Greenberg because you're going to need him. But overall, not that bad for Breakout. AllStar is going to be difficult. AllStar has always been the most difficult of like the standard series, like Rookie, Breakout, AllStar, Veteran, all that stuff. AllStar is always the hardest, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, AllStar was a lot lower than I thought last time. I think this time it's going to be 52 out of 60 that are currently in the game, so you can skip 8. I already have a bunch of these guys. Like, there are really not that many expensive All-Stars. This Rob Dibble is super expensive because he was an old chase card that for some reason has like never been in packs. But like, that's one card that he's like one of 3 cards in this set that's over 30K. You have Bautista, who's expensive. Acuna's around 30. Okay, he's going up to 40K. But yeah, you have like Mantle, Larkin, Acuna, Bautista, and Rob Dibble. Everyone else is pretty fairly obtainable in price. Like, take a look at this Brian Reynolds, 20K. Devers is 23K. Dawson is like cheap now because of the rewind packs. All-Star is very, very doable. It's not easy, but it's doable. Veteran, kind of the same as Rookie, Breakout, all of them. I mean, they only added like one card, being this Yu Darvish. This one isn't as easy as the other ones because it has some expensive live series collections like the Mets and the Tigers. The A's is pretty easy, but yeah, I mean, if you can't get one of those live series, you're going to need the Sandy Pettit card. Second half is probably the one that I think is going to be the most underrated for people. I think you're only going to be able to skip 2 of them. And given Randy Johnson has crashed in price, but he's going up. I gotta say, these chase cards are slowly going up in price, so make sure you guys get those. But I think you're gonna need 2 which means I'm going to have to buy one of these guys. I'll probably buy Trey Turner or something. He's actually going up. I might just buy Tim Raines and just hopefully not have to lock him in because he's going to crash back down in price. But anyway, second half is going to be pretty difficult, I will say. But not as difficult as Spotlight. Spotlight is always probably one of the hardest ones. Even though all these guys are really cheap now, like the extra guys are around 8K, like there isn't a single one that is above 10K that isn't a July Spotlight. So as long as you have the Lightning cards done, it should be fine, but it's not easy. Postseason, I think it's going to be 15 out of 16, meaning you only have to add 2 more to Ted Williams. Juan Marichal was a free card, and then this Manny Machado was quick sell from the multiplayer program. Like, the market is just so down that it makes these so much easier. Standout, I think this one might be a little decently expensive if you don't have the AL East done with Paul O'Neill and Darren O'Day, and I think there's one other guy. Yeah, and Don Baylor for the AL West. Like, if you have Beltran, this should be easy. If you don't, it should be hard because those guys are expensive. But everyone else is pretty cheap here. The only expensive-ish one is Oriel Posada. But everyone else is cheap, like Renifo, Lighters, Quick Sell. Like, these guys are all cheap. Cornerstone, it's simple. It's going to be 18 out of 18. They're going to drop 3 more for the new XP reward path. And then for Tops Now, this one is pretty challenging because there are a lot of guys that you get from the market, just like the Spotlight cards. But the Spotlight cards actually go to a player collection. So Tops Now is a little difficult. So if we go to my Excel workbook, I'm an Excel demon. Not really, but anyway, this is what I have the cost around, which is much cheaper than my projection for the Ted Williams because I kind of thought that was going to be much harder than it was because they made it easier than Scott Rowland. I think it's going to go up a little more. I think it's going to be more challenging, but just given the market and why every card is so cheap right now, I've got it at around 2.5 million. You can sort of go through all this on your own. You can pause the video, but this is what I'm working with. Yeah, that's going to be for this video. If you guys are new here, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but most importantly, make sure to subscribe right here on YouTube. So yeah, see you guys next one. Peace.